Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays when I go live, or outside of the live stream, you can consider joining the Discord. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you are interested in getting some ideas of the meals we enjoy, we have a link to a Pinterest board that has some of our family's favorite whole food plant-based meals. Rick and Pretty Girl's mom checking in saying hi. I hope you guys had a great day. Today is day 642 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 220 pounds. That's 100 kilos. Over 220 pounds, or exactly 220 pounds. I am little over a year and a half through this. I have about, I think, 16 months left to go, maybe 15 months left to go. I'm looking forward to getting to my goal weight and maintaining that healthy weight for the rest of my life. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. If you guys have any non-scale victories you'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you are succeeding with your diet, what are you doing? How are you staying on track? If you're having trouble getting started, maybe there's something we can help you with. And if you are getting started or you are continuing with your diet, what are you doing to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Okay, let's see. Today is Friday, August 5th, guys. I hope you guys all had a good week. It seems like this week was very, very fast for me, but I also feel like I've been very, very tired all week. So I'm happy to see the weekend here, hoping that the weather is going to be nice enough this weekend that maybe I could get some swimming in with the kids. Spent a lot of time and money getting that swimming pool together in the last day. So it'd be nice to be actually able to use it. I am trying to figure out why my phone is way back here. I'm trying to see if I took any photos of the food from yesterday. Oh, I guess I wasn't live yesterday. I didn't even think about that. So it's been 48 hours since I've talked to you guys. I had a whole day off yesterday and it hasn't felt like it. I did some laying around. I did not do a whole lot of going out or doing much of anything on yesterday on my day off. And then in the evening last night, we ended up taking the family to a drive-in and watching the Hunger Games, the first Hunger Games movie. So that was an interesting experience. I don't know if I've ever been to a drive-in. There's been one that we've driven by for years and years that I've driven by because a lot of my extended family lives about 80 miles north of where we are, and there's a drive-in that we drive by. But I don't think I've ever, I really don't feel like I've ever been to a drive-in movie, but I have now. So it was a fun experience. We got to watch the movie, and we ended up renting a radio or whatever, and it was kind of a neat kind of setup how they make it work. So I have a few photos of food since we last talked. So let me pull that up and we can talk about the meals we had. I think I have that on the right thing. Let me see. I think it works. There we go. A little bit behind, but this was dinner Wednesday night. I do not have any idea what it's called. I know it's a dish that we've had before. It was like a potato soup. But potatoes and corn were kind of the main staples of it. There's obviously a little bit of onion in there. I'm not sure what that green thing is up in the corner here. Is that that might be onion? That might not be green. I'm not sure. But this was actually really good. It was something that I would definitely recommend. Colleen says, hooray, you made it. Hi, Colleen. I hope you're having a great day. And I'm glad you were able to make the live stream here. Just talk a little bit about dinner. This was Wednesday's dinner since I wasn't live yesterday. I think I took a couple photos of it. And this was really good. I actually had this for dinner on Wednesday. And then yesterday I had it during the day at some point or for dinner, one or the other. I can't remember, but I had leftovers of it yesterday and it was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. And then another photo that it appears that I took was a couple ears of corn I had yesterday in the middle of the day, but because my phone is so far, there we go. A couple ears of corn that we had, the other day. And corn, it's the same with like oranges and sometimes apples and things like that. Sometimes it's hit or miss. Both of these were fairly good, but one of them was definitely better than the other one as far as ears of corn go. And then, the dinner that I had yesterday. Yes, this was an awesome dinner. It was rice and beans with a mango salsa. I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see all of the bright mango and bright red peppers and onions and all that stuff. If it's going to zoom in, come on, phone. Why you got to be so slow? Way behind. Well, by the time it catches up, I can talk about it, and then I can show the photo here I took of it all mixed up too. So let me see if my phone actually catches up or if it just froze. It might have just frozen. Well, isn't that a shame? Let me see. See what happens. There we go. There's a photo of it all mixed up. So that was dinner yesterday. Absolutely delicious. The only thing that would make it better would be more mango, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But yeah, that is becoming kind of a regular dinner for us now too. It's something that for the first really 18 to 20 months of doing this, I never had this dish, and then now we're eating it about once a week, and I really enjoy it a lot. Lots of fresh foods, and it's really good. I really like the onion in it and the peppers, and just how light it feels to eat it, and yeah, just overall, it's a good meal. So That was the extent of the food photos that I took since yesterday, so I can stop that. Been listening to the Neil Barnard book, Your Body in Balance. I think I'm really close to the end of it. I think I'm within I know I'm within the last hour, but I might be within 45 minutes. So 45 minutes left in that book. I do enjoy the book. I think that it is definitely a book for somebody who is not maybe necessarily already eating this way or eating the diet that I'm eating. A lot of times I'm finding that I'm listening to these books and it's a bit repetitive, but at the same time, there is some new material that I'm getting. The nice thing about this is there's lots of testimonials and people kind of giving their experience with switching from the, highly processed food diet that they were eating to a plant-based diet and the success that they have. And so overall, I do enjoy the book. I would recommend it to somebody looking to get into this way of eating. Probably more female audience than a male audience. Carrie said, "Sorry, I'm late. No worries, Carrie." I think the only thing that I had a question was the potato soup that we had the other day. Did we have that, what the name of that was, or if that was on our Pinterest board? Because that was really good. I really liked the potato soup we had the other day. I know Carrie said she had made it previously, but the potatoes were wrong. Was that the soup you made like a week ago that you used hash brown potatoes in? Because okay, maybe that's what that was. Anyways, Neil Barnard's book, I like it, but it's probably more focused towards women. So I would definitely say it's more towards that kind of spectrum, or that kind of demographic. But I got about 45 minutes left, and he's talking about diet, things to eat, where to substitute certain whole foods in for other, common foods. Carrie said that the potato soup is a Well Your World recipe, and you have to subscribe to get the recipe. It's definitely worth the money for those quick meals, if nothing else. So to get that recipe, it is through Well Your World, and they must have some sort of subscription program for their recipes. It's interesting at work here. I've been a bit more open about my diet and what I'm doing, and you get met with all different types of responses, people listening to you or not listening to you, or having different opinions, or having Carrie says it's called the potato corn chowder from Well Your World. Colleen's asking if anybody has ordered Well Your World products, curious about the shipping times, but you're also in Arizona. We've ordered Well Your World products. There's been nothing that we ever reordered. A lot of the things outside of their pancake mix, their powders, you kind of find a way to make that stuff yourself, or we found that way. Like if like the marinara sauce they have, we just make our own marinara sauce, and because it's only a few ingredients and there's nothing super crazy about that. But you should probably get it fairly quickly if you're in Arizona, because I think they're in California, and I think we got ours pretty quickly. Linda's asking, what is the name of my Pinterest page? It's in the description of the video here. Let me see if I can pull it up. See if it says, pull it up. So it's just SOS is what it's called. It's a collection by Carrie Fa and Pat Cooper. So I don't know what happened though. I just put that in on Pinterest, and yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just called SOS is what she has it called. I can do this. Let me try this. So there should be a link down in the chat box right now. If you want to see the Pinterest board. So, you're interested in the cheese mix sauce. I don't know if we got the cheese mix sauce. I don't remember getting that. Let's see. It's more of a convenience on their products, but SOS free too. Yeah, that's kind of what we felt like. That was, it's the convenience of having something pre-made, SOS free. If you need something quick, or you don't have that time in general to make your own marinara sauces, it's great to have an option that is SOS free, because so many things are not that way, which is amazing. But it's just, they gotta find them. They got to find a flavor that sells, and many times that flavor is going to have salt in it. So, Pretty Girl's mom said that theirs came 5 days last time, and they are on the East Coast, and they are near Phoenix. Carrie says that she does think that we did the cheese mix sauce, but it was super runny. If you blended cashews along with it, I bet it would be a lot better. Yeah, that would probably be good to thicken it up with some blended cashews. So, but yeah, I was kind of talking about at work here being a little bit more open about my diet the last week, and kind of not, I guess, it's more of not being in the closet with it, I guess, or or being open about it, and not, because a few things came up. But like I was saying, it's interesting to have different reactions to different to the same really kind of pitch, or the same kind of information, and how some people have openness to different opinions, and other people kind of shut down, or want to hold on to their own opinions. And it's cool though that, like, in just talking to one of my coworkers, and they were talking about what they felt like was their issue, and I kind of was pushing the idea that they eliminate dairy from their diet, that just dairy alone is going to create so many health benefits, that it's greater than the health benefits you would get from cutting out pretty much any other thing. Like even if you were debating between cutting out dairy and fish, get rid of the dairy. If you're debating between getting rid of dairy and meat, get rid of the dairy. If you're debating between getting rid of dairy and oil, get rid of the dairy. You know, like at the very minimum, getting rid of dairy is going to provide you with some level of health improvement. And it's just crazy that it's not being pushed in any way. You know, you see lots of eat low fat, but low fat is a term that is a bit relative. And if you haven't heard me talk about this, but in one of Colin Campbell's books, I'm not sure if it's whole or if it is in The Future of Nutrition, but he talks about being at the meetings where they are discussing what the fat recommendation should be for the American diet. And a lot of the, or I guess maybe not a lot, but some of the doctors like Colin Campbell were recommending that we tell people, that, or we recommend to people to keep their diet between like 15 and 20% fat, and that would be kind of a good level or a good amount of fat to have in your diet as a recommendation. But the doctors weren't the only people at this table that were making this decision. They also had people from the dairy industry sitting at the table saying, well, if you recommend that people have a diet that has 10 to, or 15 to 20% of the calories from fat, you're going to just wipe out our industry, because everything that is in the dairy industry is, everything in the dairy industry gets many of its calories from fat, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So they wanted a higher recommendation. They wanted it to be like 40% of your diet could be fat, and that would be healthy. So they ended up finding a happy medium and saying that 30% fat is kind of the recommendation. So anything that is below 30% fat from calories is considered low fat, and everything above that is considered regular fat or normal. And so these advertising and these marketing companies took that 30% and ran with it. And then everything you see now says low fat on it, low fat this, low fat that. But it's low fat in comparison to what? It's low fat in comparison of what it could be, or what it would be if they didn't add some chemicals maybe. But still, many times, if you look at the percentage of calories from fat on that, on those dairy products, it's still very high. Like skim milk still gets, I feel like it's 30% of its calories from fat, whereas whole milk is like 45 calories, or 45% of its calories. So it's really not that much different, but because we label them 1%, 2% whole and skim, then we create this scale that is really not, it's not like a whole spectrum of what the fat kind of percent, whole milk is not 100% fat. It's like 40% fat, or, and so when you think of the difference between 1% and whole milk, you think it's a huge difference, but in reality, it's not really a huge difference. So, anyways, I got rambling here to just say that, I was talking to one of my coworkers and I was recommending that they get rid of the dairy, get rid of all that fat and that salt and that the really probably oil too that comes with eating um, dairy products, and you'll see health improvements. And they're giving it a shot. They're gonna see, I mean, they may not be perfect with it, but they've tried to limit a little bit of their, their dairy consumption, or they're saying they're giving it an effort, which I think is awesome. I think it's really cool that they're even trying, because it so we're so willing to try so many different things. Like, I was so willing to try keto and Atkins and the what was his name? The Dr. Ian Smith, I think, the fat smash diet stuff, and the um just all these different other programs, the Weight Watchers, and going to the doctors and taking the pills, and um but cutting out animal products, it seems so difficult, and it seems so crazy to do because it's been so normalized, I suppose. But um Carrie says that we also had a friend contact us. He's already a vegetarian. He was considering giving up sugar to help with his health issues. Um, and both me and Carrie both screamed that you need to get rid of the dairy. Yeah, like, you're so ready to get rid of the sugar, but keep the dairy. Like, it's because it's got so many. Oh, there's so many things going for it, I mean, it's high in calories, it's high in salt many times, or high in sodium many times. And I think that there might be more to that casomorphine compound or chemical that's in dairy than that I ever knew about before. Like, I never knew that there was this chemical in dairy that is designed to create an addiction to it, because they want an infant or a baby, it's in its best interest for it to become addicted to its mother while it's breastfeeding. And so it kind of makes sense, or it somewhat makes sense, that would be what happens. And then we just never end up weaning off of it. Uh, and it's not a great industry either. So, um, it would be a good thing to get off of it, just, for the animals as well. So, um, but yeah, I think it's really cool that I had talked to them earlier this week, and kind of by the end of this week, they're kind of saying, well, they're going to give it a shot and see how they feel, see how it does, like. And I think a little bit of it was too that they knew that it wasn't helping them, that having dairy wasn't benefiting them, and just having that little bit of encouragement to try, or being, me being an example of somebody who is doing it, who's gotten away from dairy and animal products and is still doing okay. Um, and it's kind of a cool thing see, and I hope it works out, but I also know that I can't hold anybody to any type of standard. Um, they got to try it on their own. And it can be frustrating because many times I think people will try it on their own, or I'll have people who say that they're trying it on, I'm going to do what you're doing. Or I'm going to try doing this. And this coworker's not saying they're going to do what I'm doing. They're just saying they're getting rid of dairy. But um, if it fails or if it doesn't get the results, it's going to be hard for me not to be critical of the application of the program, without seeing, it, 100% of what was going on. Dorothy asks here, just wondering, have you listened to Chef AJ's Unprocessed? I wonder if that is similar to her current course. I have not listened to Unprocessed. The Chef AJ book that I listened to was The Secret to Ultimate Weight Loss. I think Unprocessed had come out before that book, but then she just re-released Unprocessed for like a 10th anniversary, that I think she added some recipes and maybe some content to it. But I think, let's see, Pretty Girl's mom answered and said that the reboot has lectures with info on her ultimate weight loss program. So, and the reboot, I think, is that 10-year anniversary of the Unprocessed. And I think that she's kind of saying the same, kind of the same stuff she has been for a while. I think that she's big into the no salt, oil, sugar, no flour, and kind of making it yourself kind of stuff. Pretty Girl's mom says that Unprocessed is a cookbook mainly, and Carrie's back on topic here with the friends and recommending the diet, and it says it is tricky because they will feel like a bigger failure if they are not successful when you're kind of watching. At the same time, feeling accountable to you may help this person stay the course. And I really like I don't have quite the same testimonial to getting rid of dairy as what I've seen online or seen in these books that I've been listening to, because I quit dairy when I quit everything. I fasted for 42 days. So I kind of was off of everything except for water for a while there. And so it wasn't a thing where I was still eating other foods when I got rid of dairy. I got rid of dairy when I got rid of everything else. But I saw incredible health benefits from my plan, what I did with the water fasting. But had I just got rid of dairy, that, if instead of saying, okay, today, November 1st, 2020, I'm going to water fast. If I said November 1st, 2020, I'm cutting dairy out of my diet. That of all the things that I did, that getting rid of the dairy might have been the largest impact on my overall health. And I can't say it for certainty because that's not how I did things, but the more I listen to these books, these people that say that they got away from it for 3 weeks, that they did a 21-day program where they got rid of dairy or they got rid of animal products. The benefits that they saw immediately were it's just awesome to hear these testimonials of these people. And I hope that my coworker has the same experience. It would be amazing if they came in a week and said, I've been the no dairy for a week, and you wouldn't believe how great I feel, like that would be the best, but I don't know that that's going to be what happens. I can only hope. So, Pretty Girl's mom says that they agree with me about the dairy. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people that are uh, starting to see the same kind of thing with dairy, and just kind of um, how, I mean, and I think there's probably a correlation if you put some graphs next to each other and compared the BMI average of our population, and you put a graph of dairy consumption, uh, you know, per capita or whatever. I bet that as the dairy consumption goes up, our population's BMI goes up. Who knows if there's causation there or not, but I bet I would be willing to bet there's a little bit of causation there. Dorothy says that you can imagine it be awkward with coworkers as you lead by example that will have a positive effect though. Yes. And again, it's that fine line that you have to run, like uh I want to rub off on them. I want to see them get healthier, and I believe that this is the easiest way to get like the food that we eat is just so uh I can't think of the word. It's so overwhelmingly healthy that I I would it would be hard to end up in an unhealthy position if I continue to eat this way forever. Like uh yeah, it's just overwhelmingly healthy amounts of food. I've talked about it a little bit in the past about the balance scale, about how people say you have to have a balanced diet. It's bullshit. You don't need a balanced diet. You shouldn't, your diet should be extremely heavy on the health food side. Like when you think of a balanced diet, you think, oh, I can have an equal amount of junk food as I do healthy food, and that's what the balance is. But no, it should be all healthy food and no junk food. Uh and you can have a variety, you can have a diet of variety, could be important, but it it shouldn't be a balance of health food and a balance of unhealthy food. Rigo's mom says dairy has a much higher addiction potential. Yeah, I think it really does. And I never knew that. It never would have crossed, it never had crossed my mind until I started eating this way and seeing the videos and seeing the the books and stuff like that. Like, just wild. Like, it makes sense. Absolutely does. Um and for me, of all the things that I did end up giving up, like dairy's one of the toughest. Like, dairy's the thing that if I were to relapse, I guess, and eat animal products again, that would be absolutely what would be the it would be some form of dairy, you know, and also if I accidentally, like if it's if it's uh in something that I eat, more than likely it's going to be a dairy thing that uh is off my diet, that's that I have. So it's crazy to think of how how much different my opinion is of it than it was 2 years ago. Like, nobody's really out there saying that it's super healthy to have dairy. Like it's one of those it's dairy is kind of the moderation food, right? Like as long as you have it in moderation, it's okay. The myth of moderation, that you can moderately consume something. But it's not really possible. Anyways, I am going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody watching my videos, following along. I will be back on Monday. We're going to be, what were we at? We're like 642 is today's day. Yeah. So, it's pretty awesome, that, I've been able to stick with this for this long. So, and I've been able to do that because you guys have been following along, and I feel like I need to update you and let you know how I'm doing and be a good example for you guys, so that if somebody down the road decides they want to try doing something crazy like lose 300 pounds, that they have some sort of example. So, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, get subscribed to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. Don't wait. Do something. Put brackets on your eating. Create an eating window. Start intermittent fasting. Get rid of the dairy. Get rid of the dairy. Get rid of the dairy. Get started now. Nobody ever gets to their goal, looks back, and wishes they would have waited. Everybody who succeeds looks back and says, man, what was I waiting for? Why didn't I get started sooner? If I'd have known how good I was going to feel, I would have started this way earlier. Those are all things that people who succeed say. Never is it, man, I wish I would have waited till after that birthday party or that one weekend. So, Pretty Girl's mom says, should we get rid of dairy? Yes, get rid of dairy. All right. I'm out of here, guys. You all have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday.